So if you guys haven't noticed, I read and respond to every single comment. I try to make the videos that you guys want to see and what you want to hear. I've been getting a lot lately, Benny, what can I do to break out of the box? So today we're going to talk about what are the modes and why do guitarists seem to care but nobody else? So I'm a classically trained pianist and I had never learned the modes because all it is starting on one scale degree and moving everything up one note. And I'll show you in a second. And at the end of this lesson, I'm going to show you on a piano, which for a lot of people, including myself, makes a lot more sense than just seeing on a fretboard. I'm just going to show you the modal shapes. The reason I think it matters so much for guitarists to learn the modes is because if you learn all the modal shapes, you can play all over the fretboard. You know, how do I get out of that pentatonic box? Or how do I get out of just doing that normal 2 scales that I know and be able to play like Slash all over the fretboard in the same key? Something that had been brought to my attention, which made a lot of sense, is if you point to any note on a keyboard, I can be like, that's an A, that's a B flat. But you point to any note or any fret on a guitar, do the guitarist know every single C or every single F or every single G sharp? If you don't, that's a huge factor in cracking the fretboard. But a great way to do that, a great way to understand, is by learning the modal shapes. So let me start with G. So 8 notes, right? G major, 3rd fret. What's the 2nd scale degree of G? A, right? G, A. So imagine I play those same 8 notes and I just move up 1 scale degree. What does that even freaking mean? Instead of starting on G, I move to A, 5th fret. So listen to that. That's literally just the same 8 notes, but I start and end 1 scale degree higher. So how do I do it on B? So listen to that. That's the same scale, guys. That's the G Ionian scale. That's the G major scale. All I'm doing is playing different modal shapes to play the same exact notes, just starting and stopping at a different scale degree. So what I'm about to show you is something that really helped me break down the fretboard so I could solo anywhere, in any key, at any time, but also understand why people care at all about the modes on the guitar. And for me, it's because if you understand these modal shapes, you'll be able to play in the G major anywhere on the fretboard. And by the way, every single key has a relative major and a relative minor. So if you're in G, E minor has the exact same notes as G. So you can play in E minor anytime you're playing in G. If you're in E minor, you can always play in G major because they're relative keys, meaning that they have the exact same notes. And a great way to be able to figure out what is the relative major and what is the relative minor is just the sound of it. The first interval that you hear, so let's say we're starting at C. That's the relative minor. So C major to A minor. So I can play they're the same notes, but they just start on a different scale degree. That's because C major and A minor are relative major and minor. And how do you figure that out? Again, it's that sound. So I can go down 3 frets from the major. If I'm in C major, 1, 2, 3, it's A minor. If I'm in G minor, I go 1, 2, 3, and realize that A sharp or B flat is the major. Like the main ones to know right now, the Ionian is the major. And the minor, so if I'm playing in G major, what's the relative minor? E minor. It's the same exact notes as. That's because the E minor is just the Aeolian mode. of G major. Here's the exercise. Now we're back to the major. So that's all 7 modes, but played just as the major scale. So if you learn the different modal shapes, you're not playing in different modes. You're learning how to play the Ionian, the major scale, anywhere on the fretboard. That's what I'm doing. And I'm gonna go take my piano now and show you. So C would normally be on the piano. Right? Guess what the next mode is? Guess what the next mode is? That's all it is, guys. It's just, if I start and stop on C, and I play all the exact notes in this scale, 1 up, that's the second mode. Third mode, Phrygian. And one thing to bear in mind, guys, is, remember I said that there's relative major and minor, so if we're in C, the relative minor is A. And that's the sound, and I'm trying to show you the intervallic sound. So if I play the major scale, that's C, right? It sounds happy. Now, if I play those exact same notes, but starting 1, 2, 3, just like on the fretboard, 3 half steps lower on A minor, it sounds sad. So the order of the notes controls the sound, even though you're playing the same notes. So even though I'm playing, if I start on the A minor, even though I'm playing the same notes, that's the basic overview of why modes matter, is unlocking the fretboard for yourself. As far as playing in the Aeolian or the Locrian or the Phrygian, we're not going to get into those sounds today. But I wanted to show you why people seem to care about the modes on the guitar. If you guys have any more questions as far as things that you want to learn, or if you found this helpful, please let me know. And we'll make more. And by we, I mean me. And just remember, again, the best mode is hollow mode, because ice cream is always awesome.
Why don't you smash that subscribe button already?